The machines are getting smarter. This is Tech Talk, brought to you by Skynet.
Technologic. Buy it, use it, break it, fix it, crash it, change it, mail, upgrade it, charge it, point it, zoom it, press it, tap it, work it, quick erase it, write it, get it, paste it, save it, load it, check it, quick rewrite it, plug it, play it, burn it.
Gary and Shannon, hey, before we talk tech with Tech Talk and Mark Saltzman, the Hollywood Reporter asked Tom Hanks about this Harvey Weinstein situation.
Please don't tell me Tom Hanks is an apple.
No, he is not. This is a very Tom Hanksy response. And he says, I know all kinds of people that just love hitting on or making the lives of underlings some degree of miserable because they can. He's talking about power in Hollywood. Mm-hmm. He says they think their achievements entitle them. He said somebody great said this, either Winston Churchill, Immanuel Kant, or Oprah. When you become rich and powerful, you become more of what you already are. And he says you can't buy this, I grew up in the 60s and 70s, and so therefore, Tom Hanks says, I did too.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Does that mean he's admitting to...
No.
I thought Bill Cosby said that when he talked about cocaine.
About?
When you're on cocaine, you become more of who you are.
That is true as well.
You're happier and smarter. And his question in the stand-up bit was, well, what if you're an apple?
Yeah, but you become more of an apple.
Great. That sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's a lovely drug.
All right, Tech Talk. Mark Saltzman is who we talk to at this time.
Gee, I don't know how to follow up after this conversation.
Hey, you ever done cocaine with an apple?
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of growing up in the 70s. All right.
Mark, of course, tech columnist for USA Today and our Genius Tech correspondent. How are you?
I'm great. I'm good. Thanks.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks for asking.
You're fully recovered and everything?
Yeah, I'm like 95% better.
Excellent.
So for your listeners who aren't aware, if you tuned into the Gary and Shannon show on a Thursday afternoon prior to 2 weeks ago, I might have sounded a little like this. Hey guys, it's Mark Saltzman. Let's talk tech. I had a sinus infection that got really out of hand, so I had some surgery 2 weeks ago, and yeah, I can taste my food. I was telling you guys last week. I can smell. I can sleep through the night, and I hopefully sound less congested on the air, because that wouldn't be good given what I do for a part of my living. Right?
Totally.
You sound great. Hey,
thank you. I feel good.
Good. This article you passed on to us from ABC News is terrifying. It's something that I never really thought about when you go to an Airbnb or a VRBO.
Yeah.
About the possibility of cameras being in there.
Yeah, so I didn't hear about the story initially, and then I was asked to go on CNN Headline News on Wednesday, shameless plug, the Ashley Banfield show. She replaced Nancy Grace, so this is like a legal show, right? And they asked me to come on and talk about it, so I quickly did my research, and I was like, ooh, creepy. So there was this couple that rented an Airbnb place, a space in Longboat Key in Florida, big touristy place, and the husband was lying in bed and looked up at the ceiling and saw the smoke detector and noticed something a bit odd. It was like a little slit in the side, and he pulled it down, and it was an SD card slot. And then he saw the camera lens. So the guy who rented out his place through Airbnb was secretly recording couples in the bedroom. And then he didn't even deny it. He's like, everybody gives consent to this, and I have sex parties at my place all the time. So if this was consensual, why was it hidden in a smoke alarm? So, they asked me to come on to talk about the kinds of products you can buy very easily online or at a spy store in your neighborhood, including things like alarm clocks with night vision cameras. And, we all know about the teddy bear sort of nanny cams and all that. And then they asked me on the air, well, how do you tell? Like, if you're staying at an Airbnb, how do you search the place and know if there's a camera there, just to, err on the side of caution? Obviously, there's no easy answer there. Most people are not going to spend $200 on, what do they call it? Surveillance tools. Or counter surveillance tools. But here's a little trick. If you have a smartphone, and chances are you do, and it has a built-in flashlight, wave it around the room. And if you see a little glint on a lens. It will show up, even if it's a pinhole camera in an object like there's even phone chargers now that have secret cameras in there. Believe it or not, like the things that you plug in the wall. So if you see a little glint from your flashlight, then that would be a camera lens. Chances are it's not going to happen, but that is a free way of trying to lower the odds of this kind of thing happening to you. Crazy, huh?
There's also, can we talk about the apps that you can get that are supposedly detecting hidden cameras in a room?
Oh.
So there are some apps that claim to detect different kinds of wireless frequencies. They don't usually work, and different cameras can work. So only a small percentage of cameras use RF or radio frequency. Some, even a fewer number of them, use Wi-Fi. Unless, of course, drop cam and all that, those are growing in popularity, where it does use your Wi-Fi to broadcast. So not only would you, like in this case, there was an SD card slot, but the homeowner doesn't even have to be there. He can be sitting in his car and watching in real time what's happening, which is pretty creepy. I've read, even though I have not reviewed some of these apps, but I've done my research and I've read about them, and I heard they don't work as well as they sort of sell you a, bill of goods kind of thing. So look, there's nothing you can do 100%. If you're going to stay at an Airbnb, and it's a great service, it's a great app, but there are some added risks that you typically don't find in a hotel. There have been some cases over the years of hotel employees that have planted cameras, or other guests who have planted them, but it does happen a lot less, I would argue. I'm just saying this anecdotally, in a controlled environment like a hotel than in somebody's home, for goodness sakes. So just, buyer beware, renter beware.
Yeah, I was reading through some of them earlier this morning, and they basically, it seems like all they do is look for that reflection. Like you had said earlier, you maybe use your light on your camera to see if there's a reflection, and it sounds like that's what they were doing.
Yes, well, the husband is in IT, the couple that discovered this, and he kind of looked and he said, why would there be a little slit in the side of a smoke alarm? So he noticed it was an SD card slot. And then they found the lens after that. You actually see a picture of them. If you Google Airbnb hidden camera, you'll see a picture of the couple looking up at the ceiling in the bedroom. Like it captured that look, that horrific look that they realize they've been watched, which is crazy. So now this guy's being sued by the couple. The couple is suing Airbnb. Airbnb is suing the guy as well. So it's not going to end pretty. And the laws, by the way, do vary from state to state. The privacy laws and recording without consent laws, they do vary. So do your research. Hopefully this is an isolated incident. I'm sure for Airbnb, they hope so. They didn't get back to me, by the way. I did reach out on Wednesday for comment, and I flagged the email as urgent. I put in the subject line CNN interview, and they still never got back to me.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to know what their policy is. Like so.